Your Excellencies, ambassadors from all over the world, distinguished guests, survivors, ladies and gentlemen. October 2005, the UN Assembly have decided that this day, January 27th, will be the day of international remembrance of the Holocaust. Historically, the 27th of January is the day that Auschwitz-Birkenau was liberated in 1945 by the Red Army. Amazing, 16 years later, exactly on the 27th of January, 1961, the trial against Adolf Eichmann started in Jerusalem, and everyone knows that Adolf Eichmann was one of the leaders of the Gestapo and the architects of the final solution, so-called, which was decided in Wannsee Conference in January 42nd. The persecutor of Adolf Eichmann began his words, and I quote his words in English. Late Gideon Hausner said to the history, "When I stand before you, judges of Israel, to lead the prosecution of Adolf Eichmann, I do not stand alone. With me here are 6 million accusers, but they cannot rise to their feet and point their finger at the man in the dock with the cry, 'I accuse,' on their lips, for they are ashes, only ashes. Ashes piled high on the fields of Auschwitz and the fields of Treblinka and strewn in the forests of Poland. Their graves are scattered throughout Europe. Their blood cries out, but their voice is stilled. Therefore will I be their spokesman. In their name will I unfold this terrible indictment." Gideon Hausner, today, exactly 50 years ago. In that trial of Eichmann, who told the story of Holocaust in generally, and Auschwitz particularly, among the dozens of witnesses was the poet and the author of Holocaust. He used to sign the books with the pseudonym Katzetnik. His real name was Yechiel Feiner, who became Yechiel Dinur when he made Aliyah to Israel. He described Auschwitz, what he remembers, but he spoke very short because he fainted on the podium at the trial and was taken to the hospital in Jerusalem. But those 9 lines of his testimony are maybe the most impressive one. He spoke about Auschwitz as a different planet, a planet where flowers cannot grow, where children cannot be born and brought up, a different planet. I was very friendly with him. Let his memory be blessed. Once I told him, "Yechiel, I oppose your beautiful words in the Eichmann's trial. It is too easy to say that Holocaust happened in a different planet and Auschwitz existed in a different planet. It's too easy. The problem is even more difficult knowing that it happened in our planet. People who finished school, with parents and grandparents, murderers who could kiss their own children to brace them after killing brutally Jewish babies, which I saw in my very eyes. How can you say it's a different planet? Till the Iron Curtain collapsed, Israelis thought that Auschwitz, Majdanek, Treblinka, Sobibor, Chlem, Nobelzec are on a star far away. But then came Perestroika, Glasnost, no more an Iron Curtain, and we, in 3 hours flight from Tel Aviv, we are in Babi Yar, in Kiev. It's not just a poem of Yevtushenko. We saw the grave, we can see it every day. An open valley where 33,771 men, women, and children were killed in 2 days, 3 hours from Tel Aviv. In 3-4 hours, we are in Warsaw, Treblinka. In 3 hours, we are in Krakow, Auschwitz. This happened here. How could it happen? It didn't start with those death camps. It didn't start with those cemeteries of mankind. It started in a book, a naive book, 1923, Mein Kampf, My War. 10 years later, he became the Führer of the Reich, and he pulled after him the votes and the sympathy and the admiration of many million cultured people, not barbarians, who knew what is classic music and loved it. 2 years later, the Nuremberg laws of racism, anti-Semitism, all of these steps were a way to test mankind. What will be the reaction? One of the reasons that he made all the 6 death camps, mass murder camps, only in Poland, none of them was in Germany, because he was sure that the world will not keep silent. The world will bomb the camps or the railways to the bombs. So better to destroy cities, villages, and people in Poland than here in Germany. None of the death camps was in Germany. Concentration camps, yeah. Dachau, Bergen-Belsen, Buchenwald, and many others. But death camps, like Auschwitz, Treblinka, Majdanek, all of them in Poland. He tested the world. What will you react? Then came the Aviv Convention, 1938, in France. The Jews are under a threat of their very existence because the Nazi German, they say, they declare a war against Judaism. Liquidation of a Jewish people, innocent people. Let's find a place where we can take them away from Germany, from the occupied territories.